Okay. Yay. Okay. Well, thanks for showing up, guys.
Hello.
I know. Do you guys have an oil handy, at least one? No? Yeah? Grab your oil. Let's oil up. It's always a good way to start, right?
What do I got?
I have my balance tonight. I put some Serenity all over me before I started.
We got adaptive going.
There you go. I have that on my desk as well. Can't go wrong. So take your deep breath. Just take your moment. Show yourself a little love. Yeah. Always feel better after those moments, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Hey. So, sleep and stress.
This one's running low, darn it.
Right? I think we're all running pretty low on that one lately. Yeah. So this particular topic, I think, is something that everybody can benefit from, because in some way, shape, or form, I think we all can improve in these areas in our life. And using oils is one surefire way to actually support yourself when it comes to these two things. I know for me, they've been things that have totally shifted in a positive way since I started using oils. And so hopefully you can kind of take away some information or maybe some, new ways to use what you have to support yourself. But if, again, like always, feel free to chime in if you have any insight or recommendations that you want to pass on. Let's all learn from each other like we usually do. So I wanted to start with sleep. So yes, this is an issue I have. No, it's an issue I don't. Do you guys have sleep issues? Do you think you can improve in sleep? Yes, anyone? Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. So with this, the main thing that's cool about the oils is I was kind of looking at like the science behind like why oils help you, get a more restful night's sleep. And a lot of it comes down to the ability for the oils to send signals to your brain and your body to first and foremost relax. Whether you're using something like a lavender or cedar wood or something just grounding, it's going to send those signals to your body saying, okay, we're gonna bring it down. And so that's super important when you're kind of picking and choosing what oil you're going to use to support yourself. And then also the thing that's really great is it creates like a sleep association. So one example that I like to share is like for Vita, my daughter. With her, I have her kind of, I don't want to say trained, but she associates the scent of either Roman chamomile or peace with time to go to bed. And it's pretty cool to see the process and how it works just for her when I'm using oils to help facilitate sleep for her. So like when you say, for instance, okay, you're going to work on the sleep association and supporting yourself. You're going to first inhale that oil. So whether it's in your diffuser or, you put it on, put some on your hands, make a mist, well, however it is that you are going to take that oil in aromatically, it's going to send those signals again to your brain. All right, here we go. It's time to relax. So then that's going to start happening. Then it's obviously going to help your body get down into the level where it can finally fall asleep. So it's going to say, oh, I smelled this scent. It's time to go down. So then there's the body response there. Then because of that, you're going to start to have the positive association with that scent where, okay, I smelled this. My brain already knows what to do. It's time to go down. It's time to go to sleep. And so when you keep repeating that cycle, it just kind of creates a stronger and stronger connection with that scent. And it just really helps to hone down and get your body to a state where you can have that restful night's sleep as soon as you come in contact with that particular oil. So it's a really powerful thing. And if you want to kind of try it out, pick an oil or two and just work with them for say like a few days or a week, and let's see how that association starts to happen and how it actually affects your body. So that's just something that I have seen play out, especially like I said with my daughter. But it's just kind of something cool from a science standpoint, how it actually works. But it makes sense, right? Like once you think about it, it totally makes sense. So some of the oils that we turn to for sleep, I know everyone has their favorites. I like to switch it up when I find that my body kind of needs it, or sometimes it's cool, like you just try something new on a whim, like the citrus bloom thing that I randomly found out worked for me. So when we go through these, I just kind of to get some feedback, like it, love it, never tried it. So Serenity, like it, love it, never tried it.
Love it.
Love it.
Love it. Okay. Leslie, you've never tried it? No. Okay.
Never tried it.
Okay. So this is one of the oils that I feel like after your top 10, I recommend you get, because it's good for not only sleep, stress, but just so many things. It smells great. So with Serenity, if you're not familiar with it, basically like all the good oils for sleep are in this one blend. Yep, see? So the oils that I'm going to talk about briefly are, so it has like Roman chamomile, lavender, it has a hint of vanilla in there, it has cedarwood, vetiver. So like all the main players when it comes to supporting sleep are in this one blend. It smells amazing, it works great, and it's really versatile. So if you don't have it, I recommend getting it or trying it, because it's a very, very powerful oil.
Yeah.
So for sleep, this one is really great in the diffuser. What I usually do when I do use it, I'll just put it in my hands. I put it over my heart, back of my neck, and then the excess on my hands, I go like this and I just rub on my pillow. You can put it on your nose, like wherever you feel moved to put it. It's great to use, but it's basically the blend I feel that was made for sleep. It's like the calming blend. But it does its job. It works really well. So it's kind of like the one-stop shop for all the sleep oils, if you want support in that sense. Yeah, so it's great. Roman chamomile, like it, love it, never tried it. Are you guys familiar with Roman chamomile?
Never tried it.
No. Okay, so
I like it.
yes.
I don't use it as often, but yes.
Okay.
Is it Roman or Roma?
Roman chamomile.
Roman.
So this oil, yes, it's a smaller bottle, 5 ml. We only I want to say maybe 3 or 4 years ago actually got access to it again because of sourcing. It wasn't available for a long time when I first started, so I didn't become exposed to this oil until a few years ago. But when I did, I was using just a little bit on the bottoms of my big toe, and it helped me so much with sleep. That was before I fell in love with cedarwood. And the thing that I like about this oil is it's very baby friendly. So it's, like I said, with Peace, or it's either this for my daughter for sleep. It's a floral, but I feel like it's still kind of sweet smelling. I really enjoy the aroma, to be honest. Because I use it so much for her for sleep, I now, when I put it on her, she has a pacifier with one of the little like teddy bears on the end. So I have like our routine where we'll nurse and I give her pacifier, but I put a little Roman chamomile or Peace on the little teddy bear. So it's like a diffuser for her when she's going down. So it's really baby friendly, and it's just a really gentle, relaxing oil. So that's why I like it. And again, it's not just for kids, obviously. You can use it on yourself. But if you think about it, like you have chamomile tea to relax. A lot of times people have that to, sip. Hi, we got someone new there.
Hi. Hi, Lisa.
Oh, you were asking about the dog, relaxing the dog, right?
That was me, yeah.
Okay, yay. Okay. Hi, nice to see you. Hi. But yeah, so that's a few of the reasons why I really like Roman chamomile. So if you don't have it, I recommend giving it a try, because it's a really, really good smelling oil, but it works really well.
Is Serenity baby friendly or kid friendly? Because my son loves it.
Yes.
So that's his new
Definitely.
thing. Every night, Mom, can we go pick our oils? And he wants to
See?
smell every single one.
Yeah,
But he
yeah,
wants to make his own mixture. But now I'm
yes,
like, okay, buddy, you got to pick your same ones for the night. But it works 5 minutes and he's
for
asleep.
sure. Yep.
It's amazing. And he
But
bounces
he
off the
may
walls.
he may also be trying to find his one that he likes. So
Mm-hmm.
have
Yeah.
him try like a couple of days, a few oils that he chose, and then switch it a few nights and see which ones he really needs. You know,
Okay.
sometimes it'll change too.
Yeah, it definitely does. And that's one thing, like, let your kids explore. As long as you're present with them in, like, they're not choosing any like oregano or any oil that's hot that's gonna potentially like cause harm when they're not using it carefully. But let your kids explore, and even though it might sound weird, just kind of trust them, because there's been some times where my son is like, Mom, I need this oil, and I'm like, why? But I trust him, and then the next day or something happens and I'm like, oh my God, I totally get why you asked for that. So
Yeah.
they're pretty in tune with their bodies, and when you start exposing them to oils and letting them try, I feel like that just becomes even even stronger, that intuition that they have. And it's pretty cool to watch them kind of have fun and play around with them as well. So let them explore, as long as, like you said, you're watching them. But yes, Serenity is definitely kid friendly. Definitely. Yep.
Ashley, what you can do is put out some of the oils that are for calming and sleep out, so he can choose from those.
Yeah.
So he's not grabbing something that really he shouldn't be, and he's just telling you, yeah, I need this one, and it's oregano.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Definitely.
last night he loves Serenity and he loves lavender, but he wanted citrus twist. It was nighttime. I was like, well, whatever. But he was legit asleep in 5 minutes. So I was like, okay,
Yeah.
sure.
No, and that's totally fine, because wild orange is an oil that is also good to support sleep, but you wouldn't think about it. But especially, they say, if you are more of like an empath, someone who picks up on other people's energy, wild orange is a good oil to use to support that and to kind of help to ground you. So yeah, you never know.
Well, he knew what he wanted,
He
so
knew,
I
right?
went with it.
Exactly. So next I wanted to briefly talk about vetiver. So you guys have probably heard me talk about this. I call it the tranquilizer. This oil is super grounding. Vetiver is a root. It smells very earthy, smells like kind of like dirt, to be honest. So it's not the best smelling oil, and it's super thick, and sometimes it takes forever to come out of the bottle, but it works really, really well if you're someone who has a hard time getting down. So like when I think of vetiver and like the fact that it's a root, it just kind of like anchors you. So it's also really good if you or someone or say your child even deals with like ADHD, or like has issues with concentration. That oil is just very like, it's like molasses. It just gets you. So it's definitely one that I use with caution. For me, I only use it when I'm ready to go to sleep, because the effect that it has on me is very intense, very quick. So I just put a little bit on big toe. As you can tell, that's like my favorite spot for sleep, the big toes, and it definitely will help get you down. One thing to be mindful though about this oil is it doesn't happen all the time and with everybody, but sometimes it can cause very vivid dreams. So if you find that you're trying vetiver out and you're having some crazy dreams, back off a little bit and maybe try something else.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of dreams, next oil is juniper berry. So juniper berry is one that I recommend for anyone who has issues with like nightmares, night terrors, things like that. So put it in your diffuser, get it on you. If you find that you're kind of having issues with that, and that's what's preventing you from getting a good restful night's sleep, definitely turn to juniper berry. It blends really well with like cedarwood, lavender, serenity, all of those but definitely turn to that if you find that yourself or your children are having issues with any type of, again, nightmares or sleep terrors. So cedarwood is one of my favorite sleep oils. Super affordable, super versatile, and it works very, very well. So, yep. Oh, did someone say something?
No.
Oh, so cedarwood, it helps to quiet the brain, and it just slows down a busy mind. So like the little trick for cedarwood to help with sleep is to put some on your forehead. And it just really helps to just quiet your brain, stop the list that you continuously run, you know, when you lay down and you're like, oh my God, I have to do this, I didn't do this, or you're like a worrying mind. It just really helps to just calm it down, quiet down. Okay, it's time for sleep. Let's go to bed. So forehead's always great. If you want to smell it, put them on your nose, big toes or bottoms of your feet, or even, again, get it in that diffuser. Any type of way that you're inhaling that aroma and you're getting those oils on you or in your olfactory system, it's going to do its job. So cedarwood is definitely one that I recommend. And it's also really great for skin. So you got dual uses for that one. And then my lovely favorite friends, Serenity soft gels. Do you guys familiar with this? Use it, like it, love it?
Love it.
Love it. Okay. So 2 of these about 30 minutes before bed, you will have a great night's sleep.
Out.
So these, you guys, like, I hadn't been using these for a while, and I was with the baby and nursing and all of that. I just was not getting the sleep that I needed, you know. And so finally I was like, why aren't you using Serenity soft gels? Like, what are you doing? So I finally started taking these, and let me tell you, the amazing thing with these is it's all natural. It's going to support you falling asleep, getting a good, restful, deep sleep. But when you wake up, you do not feel groggy or loopy like a lot of other sleep aids tend to do. So don't chug your NyQuil, don't take your melatonin, like, you don't need that stuff. Serenity soft gels definitely take the cake, and they work so well. And like, I will say, the fact that you wake up feeling like you got a really good night's sleep, even like in my case, if you are up and down a few times a night, to me, that's a game changer. That is huge. When you can wake up and feel like you're rested, that's definitely what these do. So these, if that's something you struggle with, I really, really recommend giving these a try. If you want support for like stress and anxiety, even though I know we're not talking about stress yet, taking these is also going to help you. And if you want, you can even add a Copaiba soft gel, one soft gel of that and one of these, and they work really well. So if you're someone with like anxiety and say you don't have adaptive, or you don't want to try that, you can definitely do the Serenity soft gel and the Copaiba soft gel, and they work just as well, I would say, as an alternative to the adaptive. So that's a little trick for anxiety and stress if you struggle with that. So different ways, obviously, that you can use oils to support a good restful night's sleep. So obviously diffuse. You could put them in a bath. This is something I like doing for the kids. I personally prefer showers, so if you want, you can drop oils in just like the floor of the shower. See, you can make bath salts. So if you're doing a bath, you're going to want to have it with the Epsom salt, and then you can add whatever essential oils you want to that salt, shake them up, and then just pour them in your bath, and then get in and relax. So look at you, you have so many options.
As you can tell, this is my favorite.
See?
You may get to this one, but this is Aroma Touch.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
But this one's Balance and Serenity.
Yeah,
oh my
definitely.
God, I love that.
Yeah, and honestly, they work really well. So my bath blend right now for Vita, I've been doing a squirt of the new Citrus Bloom body wash. Did you guys get that? The Citrus Bloom? Okay. So you can obviously use doTERRA standard body wash, but I've been using the citrus bloom, and then I'll do a drop or two of cedarwood and a drop or two of serenity, and that's what's in her bath. So it smells great. She's getting the aroma, so it's like her own personal diffuser, but then she's also like bathing in it, and it's going on her skin. So it's kind of prepping her for bedtime. So obviously as an adult, you can do that for yourself as well. But that's how we like to incorporate baths instead of the Epsom salt. Obviously you can do like mist sprays with water, or if you want to do like a witch hazel, and then whatever sleepy oils that you have that you prefer. You can obviously put the oils just directly on the bottoms of your feet, over your heart, back of your neck, wherever you feel moved to put them. You can massage them into, like, say, your shoulders. Like the aroma touch would be a great option for that. Or you can even add them to a cup of tea. So I mentioned like the Roman chamomile. If you want, you can do lavender. You can do bergamot, so it's like an Earl Grey. So since our oils can be taken internally, you can definitely add them to teas and things like that if you want to ingest them in that way. So these are some tips that I came across from doTERRA that I thought were pretty interesting about getting a more restful night's sleep. So it says here, let me try to make this a little bigger because I want to read it and make sure I get it right. So it says to eat well. It says avoid high carbohydrate foods which flood the muscles with glucose, causing involuntary muscle movements during sleep. When you get the nighttime munchies, it often means that your body is tired. So it might be time for you to head to bed. Otherwise, try snacking on nuts. Nuts provide protein and fat, which are not only satisfying, but are slowly digested, which can provide a calm sleep. They are also rich in magnesium and minerals that help to calm the nervous system. So that's something I didn't think of. Obviously, you eat healthy, okay, but those nighttime munchies hit, and I'm in the cabinet looking for something. So
where's my mid-chip chocolate?
Right? Exactly. I know. So when I read that, I was like, oh man, like I would never think of that as a signal, like it's time for bed, or to choose like a nuts or something because it's better for you. I'm like, where are the chocolate chip cookies or something? So yeah. I thought that was pretty interesting. And then another thing was, okay, so one thing you really want to do is you want to set the mood for bed. So make sure that your room is dark. You have your diffuser going. So I like to at least, I know I keep referencing Vita, but like her nighttime routine is on lock. So I'm sharing what works for her. But we set the mood for sleep. So as soon as, you walk into that room, you're like, okay, like I'm relaxed, I'm calm, it's time for bed. So you don't want to be looking at your phone because that blue light is going to activate your brain and get you going, and it's really hard to get you back down for sleep. If you want, you can get that diffuser going before you even walk into the room for bed. So that way your room already has that scent to work on that sleep, that scent association, that positive association we talked about. So that way when you walk in, your brain's already like, oh, okay, it's time for sleep. So all of these things are things that you can kind of do to, again, set the mood. Make sure, your blankets, your pillow, everything's comfy, everything's cozy, it's inviting. It's like, when you're here, you're going to bed. You're not here to lay down and look at your phone for 2 hours. So that is going to really help to facilitate a really good night's sleep. And then when you add in, your Serenity soft gels or whatever type of oils you choose, it's just going to help you really get into that deeper level of more restful night's sleep. So those are just some of the ways that you can support your sleep. But we jump into stress because we all have it. We all deal with it, or I hope we deal with it well, but I know it's something that we can all improve on. And this is, again, another thing like the sleep that oils have helped tremendously with, at least in my life. So before, when I'd get stressed, I was just like a train wreck going and there was no end in sight. I would spiral until I had like a nervous breakdown, or I would cope in an unhealthy way emotionally. But once oils came into my life, I started doing my check-ins that I often talk about, where I check in with myself throughout the day to kind of assess, like, how are you feeling right now? Is it a feeling that you're happy with, or is there something that you think you can, you want to tweak? And I'm feeling a little like anxious right now. Okay, let's pick an oil that will help to get you out of feeling that way. So since I've been doing that, I've become more in tune with how I feel, and I've been more proactive in helping to adjust myself throughout the day, so I'm not that spiraling train wreck of emotions that just, can't get a hold of things. So I really, first and foremost, encourage you to start doing that with yourself. Whether you find that, you're just navigating through your day and you're like, oh, I have a lot of tension in my shoulders. Let me grab some Aroma Touch or some Deep Blue. Let me breathe in some lavender or put some balance on. Do something when you recognize that you're starting to kind of shift into like a negative space. Do something to, break that cycle and get yourself out of it, because that, first and foremost, is going to make the biggest difference in your stress levels and how you respond to things. You're going to find that you're going to respond instead of react, because you're going to find that you're having more self-control. And I think being able to do that in itself is huge. Not only for you, but I'd say your family and like your kids, if you're dealing with small children as well, because you're responding in a healthier way to your stress levels, which we all know when we're tense and we're worked up, that kind of feeds into the energy of your home and your surroundings. And, you can pick up on someone's bad energy super quick. You know when someone's in a bad mood. You know when someone's got a chip on their shoulder or something's going on. You can feel that energy. So when you're able to really recognize yours and work on creating that healthy, positive environment for yourself, it's not only going to benefit you, but it's going to benefit everyone around you. So that's why addressing these with your oils is just going to be something that is life-changing for you if you're someone who deals with stress often. So definitely tap into these tools to support yourself. So we all know, love Adaptive. Does everyone have Adaptive, use it, familiar with it? No? Lisa, no? Leslie's
Lisa,
frozen.
this is one that I've told you need to get.
Yes.
Yes.
So, by
everyday
all means,
use.
Yeah. So like before Adaptive was around, it was Balance and Serenity. Don't discredit those, they're still amazing, but Adaptive takes the cake. It's all the good things, like Serenity is all the good sleep oils. Adaptive is all the good stress, relaxing, anxious, emotional oils in one. And it smells amazing and it works so well. So if you don't have it, this is one you for sure want to get, whether it's the bottle of straight oil. You can get the Touch, which is the diluted topical roll-on, or there's potential customer. I don't know who jumped on. I'm gonna mute him though. Or there's a supplement. So depending on how intense your stress and anxiety levels are, you can determine what, or one or all three that you want to use. Obviously baseline would be, say, the Touch. If you want to jump up, you can do the oil, which gives you the ability to use it topically or in your diffuser. If not, you bump up again and you get the supplement, which you use in combination with the oil topically or in your diffuser, and it really helps you on an internal level, and it works with your brain chemistry, and it gives you GABA and like all these other crazy things. The science behind this oil and this blend is just intense and wild. Science is not my thing. If you're interested in that, there's a video that I shared from someone who is in the medical field explaining on a scientific level how Adaptive works. But take it from our just personal experience when we say it does the damn thing. Like, it does its job. So this is definitely one you want to have. And you guys, this roller is like $20. So it's super, super affordable, especially considering how powerful it is for you on an emotional level. So you
Yeah.
want to have this in your life. I know, like, we go through this every day. Like, I'm constantly throughout the day putting it on my forearms, and I put it on the baby. Like, everyone gets adaptive. Um, it works so, so well. So this one, my little notes that I had on it, it helps to free you of overwhelm, and it's just full of calm. So by all means, treat yourself and get some adaptive.
Ooh.
Exactly, yeah. Um,
And I
so,
highly recommend the actual oil. Like I've told all my people, the oil itself is always better because you can make your roller and you can diffuse it. Now, adaptive is one that I diffuse every day. That's the one that calls to me every single day, and that's the one that I mix with whatever else I'm using that day. So give it a try.
For sure. So then, like I had mentioned, before adaptive was around, it was balance and serenity. So balance is our grounding blend. This one has all the good tree oils in it. This is actually the first oil I've ever owned before I even had a doTERRA account. I was just having one of those spiral train wreck days. And I walked into the salon at the Claremont Club, and they have a wall of doTERRA. And I just said, here, I'm buying this. And this was the first experience of an oil I ever had. And I was totally sold because it really helped to ground those heavy, crazy emotions that I had. And it's just putting this, as simple as putting it on the bottoms of your feet every day before you start your day, makes a difference. It smells, it doesn't have a strong scent. Like, it's very, it's like a faint woody with a hint of floral. But this one just really helps to counteract like cycles of worry and fear, and it just really it brings you down. Let me I say it brings you down, but I don't mean it in a negative emotional way. It just really helps to ground you and, do its job as the grounding blend to give you that support you need to kind of feel more firm and just not so out of control on an emotional sense. So that's why we love balance. Copaiba. So this oil, I posted in the group. Are you guys all in the Facebook group, I hope? Because hopefully you guys are. I shared a post that someone had written that went over so many benefits of Copaiba. But this oil, you guys, like, this is doTERRA's response to a request for CBD. doTERRA will not do CBD oil. It doesn't hit our standards. It's just not something that we vibe with. But when they were looking for something to provide for people that would kind of serve the need or want of a CBD, they found Copaiba. So it's from a tree in Brazil, and it's actually proven to be more effective and supportive to your body, your neurological system, just your endocrine system than CBD is. So if you're curious about this oil and you don't already have it, just search in the group Copaiba, and there's so many posts that I've made throughout the years that kind of goes over the science of, comparing CBD to Copaiba. But this oil, I just do a few drops under my tongue when I feel like I need a little emotional support, and it does the job. If you're a nursing mother, it helps to boost your milk supply. I know my coworker, she has 3 teenagers at home, and a lot of her children's friends come over, and she's kind of taking kids in. And when you're dealing with teenagers, life gets kind of crazy. So she's like, I take 2 drops of Copaiba under my tongue, I have a hard cider, and I am good. So so it's like, excuse me, like my aunt, she's like, whenever I'm feeling anxious, I'll just do Copaiba under my tongue, and I just relax. I just feel good after that. So it's definitely a powerful oil when you just do it like a drop or 2 under your tongue. And I find that that's the most effective way for me to get a benefit from it. If you want, you can use it topically for pain, or it's really good. It's kind of like they say, like a hug for your, what did they say? It's like a hug for your nervous system. So it really just helps to just calm things down and take you kind of out of that like fight or flight mode. But yeah, Copaiba is definitely one that I know I use often. And for, it's the oil that got my baby to crawl because she loves it. I give her at least, I like probably less than a drop a day. When I say, here, do you want this? And I show her, she like leans over and she wants it. Like she even loves this. So it's even great to support your immune system. So not even from an emotional standpoint, physically, and it has its own benefits. But even for her, I just put my finger on the top and I rub her gums. And I know that she's kind of in that weird phase of like, are you teething? Or are you just fussy? But either way, I know I'm giving it to her and it's supporting her little body. It's supporting her immune system. It's supporting her nervous system. So it's just something that even taking daily is going to support your body and your emotions. So Copaiba is another one that I love. Magnolia. Do you guys have Magnolia? I know that's one that's kind of like in the middle, not one that you feel like you for sure need, but it's great to have. The thing about Magnolia is it's high in lanolin, which helps to reduce sad and anxious feelings. So this one is good if you are dealing with sad and anxious feelings that are leading to your stress to put over your heart. So it's a floral. It's one of our newer oils that we have. It was in the Mother's Day Precious Petals kit, which is still available. But this is one that you, again, will put over your heart to support any type of sad or anxious feelings. Peace will be the last oil that I'll recommend. This oil is going to definitely support you if you feel like you just need to take that deep breath and just get that reassurance that everything's going to be okay. So this is one that definitely helps if you work in a stressful work environment. It has the vetiver and I think I want to even say like lavender vetiver, and I forgot what the other oils are in it. But this one really just helps to take the heaviness, I'd say, that a lot of us tend to carry, and it just makes your load that you're carrying emotionally a lot lighter. So that's where I'd say like peace is really beneficial, especially if you're someone who kind of feels that heaviness often. It's really going to help to lighten that load. So definitely explore peace if that's something that you struggle with, because we all know that, especially as women, we carry a lot. We do a lot. Our jobs are a thankless job, I feel. Just how we show up for our families and we try to do our best to show up for ourselves. But a lot of times it's a heavy burden. I don't want to say a burden because it's a blessing to be a woman, but it's life gets heavy sometimes. So peace really helps to just show some love back to yourself and to, again, lighten that load that you may feel is just kind of on you. And last but not least is LLV, our lifelong vitality supplements. These by far are what I recommend everyone, no matter what you're going through in your life, whether you're healthy as heck or you struggle with any type of pain, discomfort, emotional, any type of imbalance in your life, take LLV. This is going to help you on so many levels, not only from a health standpoint, but it really, really helps to regulate your emotions and your mood and how you just feel, your energy levels. It helps to just really put you in a positive space where you don't, at least for me, I didn't feel like that cloud was always hanging over me that I used to feel. So if you are someone who struggles with depression or just mood swings, emotional imbalances, or you just don't have energy, this is definitely something that's going to support you while also supporting your body and its functioning at like its optimum levels. So LLV is something that no matter what, I recommend you take. There's a 30-day money back guarantee. So for any reason you just don't vibe with it, you don't like it, you can say, hey, didn't work for me, and they will give you your money back, no questions asked. So there's no risk when it comes to taking it, but it's something I really recommend everybody at least give a try. So lifelong vitality supplements. Let's see. I'm trying to see if I missed anything. So different ways obviously to use, we went over for your stress, diffusing is obviously a great way because you're going to smell it. It's going to work with the chemistry in your brain. It's going to help to do all of its good chemical things to say, hey, you know, let's not feel stressed, you know, let's be happy, let's smell the orange, let's boost our mood, let's feel better. So diffusing is always a great way to go to relieve that stress. I know for me, diffusing in our office every day at work was a game changer. When I first started, I didn't really say anything. I just kind of brought my diffuser and I put it on and I didn't say anything. But I would take it home when I was done because I was new and I only had one diffuser and I have like, what, 6? But when I did not bring it, my coworkers would text me, hey, can you bring that thing you brought that smelled good? Because we noticed that I won't say their name, but our boss at the time, he was very high strung. And they would be like, hey, we noticed he was like super calm yesterday and you had that thing, can you bring it back? So it became like an experiment because the days that I didn't bring it, we saw his mood and how it shifted when it was there. So needless to say, the office then had a diffuser in the middle of our little pod, and we have a whole entire thing of oils, and we diffused all day, every day since then, because it totally shifts the mood in the room, especially if you work in a high stress environment. With us, we deal with a lot of different clients, and you know, we get a lot of requests that we need to do on the fly. So it really helps to just keep us centered and our stress levels down. So for our particular blend in our office was always, like I know Miss said that her baseline is adaptive. Our base oil in our diffuser every day was balance. So we found that when we did balance in wild orange, that was like our perfect mix because the balance helped to keep our stress levels down, but the wild orange kept our emotions up and our, you know, positive emotions up. So not only did it smell really good, but it helped us in how we functioned in our stress levels. So diffusing is definitely a super, super great way to help manage stress levels. Applying them on you topically is obviously going to be beneficial as well. So whether that's over the heart, the back of your neck, so it has that direct connection to your brain. I like to, you know, put some on the bottom of your nose if you want to smell it. Lately, I know like in Chinese medicine, Desiree, I always kill her last name, like Magdong. She's someone who speaks a lot. She's knowledgeable in Chinese medicine. And a lot of times she says emotionally, she puts, there's a reason why they do it, but they put the oils in like the crease of your arm. So I find that when I'm trying to support myself emotionally, my intuition, I roll it up my forearm and I do like a T in my arm. So your wrist is obviously a great place too, but for me, I find recently that just intuition, I've been doing that T. But again, bottoms of your feet, anywhere you feel moved to put it is a great place to put it. Just listen to that intuition that you have. Doing the cup and inhale is always great. Dropping oils in your hands or rolling them. And then your deep breaths, that's good to do when you're doing your check-ins, or even internally. So whether that's the adaptive supplement, the Serenity, Copaiba, you can make your own veggie caps with whatever, you know, essential oils you want. I know a lot of people like a combination of like Melissa, frankincense. You can do marjoram, just anything that's going to really support you in whatever it is that you're dealing with. As long as it's safe to take internally, you can make your own custom veggie cap of it. So those are just some of the ways you can support yourself in your stress levels. But again, I really, really recommend doing those check-ins, because those check-ins are going to be a great reminder for you to kind of do that self-assessment, and then pick your oil to give yourself your little emotional tweaks and to help you with whatever it is that you're dealing with. And then once that becomes less of like, whether you set a reminder or you just, whenever you think about it, just say, hey, what oil can I use right now? Let me grab some wild orange. Okay, I'm good. Like, the more you do that, just the more it just kind of becomes second nature. And it's just, supporting yourself becomes less of something that you have to stop and think about, and something you just do, like muscle memory. You just do it. And I feel that once you kind of are able to get to that point, you'll find that huge shifts happen in a positive way. So yeah, I encourage you all to take proactive steps to support yourself. Do you guys have any questions about anything? Or any input that you want to give, or questions? Nothing? Good?
I know I've mentioned to you guys about the cedar wood. So as Ashley stated, the cedar wood is really good to help calm and get that restful sleep at night. So my father-in-law, not my father-in-law, my stepfather has trouble sleeping. And I know some of you have said you wake up in the middle of the night and you can't go back to sleep, or the husbands are, you know, pacing back and forth. Try the cedar wood on their forehead. Try it behind the neck. It takes some time. It's not overnight, but it does help to knock you out. But it took my stepdad a couple of days for it to sink in, and he was one that was waking up like 2 to 3 times a night, and he couldn't go back to sleep. Once he started using it regularly, he would not wake up through the whole night. So every time he runs out, he's like, I need some more, and he comes shaking it. So, you know, of course I'm going to fill it up for him, and I'm going to help him out. So I do that. And now he has 2 because he forgot it, and I made him another one. So now we swap back and forth. So. But it definitely works for him. So
for sure,
keep that in mind.
I ordered it for my June LRP, so I'm excited.
Yeah.
It's shipping.
There you go. And then one thing to keep in mind too, like, you know, we all associate lavender for sleep. Like Serenity has lavender in it. Everyone thinks, oh, you go to Bath and Body Works and it's like lavender eucalyptus. You know, everything for sleep is lavender. But lavender doesn't work for everyone. I'm one of those people. Like, lavender does not calm me down. Like, I'll put it on and I'm laying there like, am I gonna go to bed yet? So to me, the tree oils, like the cedar wood, the balance, things like that, are what really work for me. So you kind of have, like she said, try to give it time, but if it doesn't work, you definitely have other avenues to try to figure out what your little like secret sleep blend is. So experiment, you know, smell a few things, see what you're kind of drawn to. And if it's something unconventional, like, go with it. Again, like the citrus bloom, it happened on a whim because it was on my nightstand, and it's usually like my cedarwood or adaptive, and it was in the middle of the night, the lights were off, and I opened it, put it on my toes, and I closed the lid, and I was like, that's not cedarwood, whatever. And I slept so well. So sometimes things just happen.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like, you know, try different things, and you know, if one thing doesn't work for you, by all means, you know, try something else, and until you find whatever it is. But cedarwood is definitely my jam. I use it all the time. So I recommend
And
that.
speaking on vetiver, as Ashley's saying, some things work on some and it doesn't work on others. So my daughter was using vetiver, and for some reason it gave her unpleasant dreams. but it worked for her husband and the kids. So they all love the vetiver. But for her, she feels like she has these weird dreams and she doesn't like to use it all the time. But I mean, they knock out, they love it, but she just kind of has to try different things.
Yeah.
And she puts quite a few different oils in hers at night. I want to say she has bergamot.
However you want to say it.
Yeah, I know, right? How do you say it? Balance, Serenity, On Guard, and maybe even a dash of Roman chamomile every now and then.
Maybe.
So she puts a lot of different ones in there at night. But I know she does the On Guard, so she keeps that immunity going throughout the night.
Yeah.
And then she also has them their own little rollers, and they know which one to get at night, and it helps them. So
yeah,
associating with your kids early, and you know, or even yourselves, get yourselves adapted to the night times or the daytime oils that call to you. Put them in a place that you will walk past.
Yes.
Because if they're in a drawer, if they're somewhere in another room that you don't go in frequently, you know, you're not going to get them. You're not going to use them. So put them out somewhere that you have to walk past them so you can use them.
Yes, that's definitely something that we recommend, especially to new users, because the more, like, out of sight, out of mind. Like she said, if you have them in a drawer, if you have them in like your bathroom cabinet with the door closed, like you're not going to think, oh, let me turn to them. But if you're walking, like for me, my whole entire kitchen window seal has just become like an oil lineup, because ever since COVID happened, like we have ramped up what we do to support our immunity. So I'm making veggie caps every day. You know, I'm putting extra oils in my water. You know, just I'm always doing something, and I'm in the kitchen multiple times a day. So that's just where it's become convenient. If not, my oil table is, when you walk in my house, it's right there. Like our entryway table is now the oil table. And so keep them where you are. Whether, you know, next to your couch, whatever is within arm's reach and easy. Like she said, keep them within sight, so you think, oh, I'm going to pick one up and use it. Yes. And don't be one of the new people who has an oil and you don't open it and you just keep it in the box.
Wait, what did you tell me one time before? Every week, choose a different oil that you haven't tried and use it.
Yes.
Just pick one and open it up and try it. And I started to do that, and I was like, okay, yes, there are some that are still, you know, I tried it and I'm like, I don't know about that one. But when I do need it, I pull it out. So,
exactly. It's a great way to, what are those?
Look, try these 3, guys. These smell so good together.
What is it?
It is lemongrass, On Guard, and eucalyptus.
Okay. And that'll be good for your immune system and clearing the air.
That is good for your immune system, and it smells so good.
Yeah.
Maybe just because I like the lemongrass too, but they smell really good together.
For sure.
Use the 3 in the diffuser, and what do you use it for? Just like a regular day?
Yeah, I'll just throw it on for the day. But it's like an immunity booster too. So all 3 of these are like big powerhouse. So
I have them all, but lemongrass.
It's lemongrass, eucalyptus, and On Guard.
Okay, I have those.
But don't use the On Guard and put that in your mouth.
Okay,
you can.
I did that, and I accidentally got like 2 or 3 drops in, and I almost threw up.
So you have to.
Like,
it takes a minute.
I was going.
Yeah, so that's definitely strong.
Awful.
It's definitely strong, especially if you're not used to it. But I will say, I do that if I start feeling like I have a sore throat coming on. It sucks and it's nasty. Just being honest, you know it's nasty. But I feel like if I have a sore throat and I do that, I'll put it under my tongue and I'll like keep my tongue up so it kind of just sits for at least like 10 seconds or how, because it starts to burn as long as I can take it. Then I'll like let my tongue relax and then it just kind of goes down my throat. But I feel like when it does that, I feel like it grabs onto the areas that are causing my like the pain and the discomfort, and it just
numbs you.
Gets it.
Yeah.
And so that's my like last resort. I'm not dealing with the sickness. I'm just gonna take one for the team, and I do it. But it's only in those worst case scenarios where I'm like, okay, I'm not about to get sick. But yeah, it's definitely intense, especially if you're not used to it.
Jacob definitely does 3 drops of the On Guard to the back of his throat. Every time he's feeling scratchy or he feels like somebody's back there, I can tolerate 1 drop to the back of my throat. And I usually don't put it under the tongue. I try to put it as far back as I can and just let it drip to the back.
Yeah.
But he does 3 drops every time. And I'm just like, you are crazy. Yeah. But that's his thing and that's what he likes. And he wants to like nip it real quick.
Exactly.
And so that's what he does.
I put a drop in like a thing of coffee and then I just downed it. And then I was like, and I'm trying really hard to get used to the frankincense.
Oh.
It's a struggle.
Okay.
It's a struggle. But I'm doing it.
So good.
Yeah. And also keep in mind, like if you want to take oils internally and you don't want to taste them, get veggie caps. They're $4 for like a bottle of like 160. They last forever. Just do your drops in there and then take it like a supplement so you don't have to taste it. But yeah, frankincense is very earthy as well. So that's a taste you have to get used to.
I'm used to it now. I
don't mind it.
Like I have my little box next to the bed. And I take it every day under my tongue. It's just something that I do every night. So you'll get used to it, Lisa.
It's funny too, and then I go to bed with that taste in my mouth, and I'm like, ugh, okay, I can do this.
Yeah. It'll get easier if you keep going that route. It will. And like Copaiba, I enjoy taking that one. I find it's actually nice.
I don't know.
It doesn't burn. It's not super strong tasting. It's another one that's pretty like earthy, but it's not like, I don't feel like I go ugh after I taste it. So I
think the time you do it, maybe. On any oils, the initial first taste, because you don't know what to expect. So.
Exactly. But that one's not bad. I don't mind. Like I say, I take it sometimes multiple times a day. But definitely oils under your tongue is something you have to get used to if you're not someone new and you're not used to how they taste on their own.
If you need to, put it like in a little shot of like a glass of water or something and just throw it back that way.
Do it quick. Get it over with.
I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
See? Yeah. Good. It'll get easier.
But I think the first time the words Melissa and crazy came out of my mouth or something.
Oh my God.
It happens.
Right.
I know another friend of ours, Danielle, she tried to do the breathe thing, and do the whole inhaling thing like that. And she choked on it. And she's like, oh my God, what did you do? I'm like, well, you didn't do it right.
But they're strong. So like I say, with the peppermint pop, you're going to cough, especially your first time, because that oil is strong. Yeah.
Well, I did in my diffuser just yesterday. I think I put too many drops in there, and I was like, "Oh my God, this is strong!" And I was going, "Oh no!" So I had to like leave the room for a minute to like let kind of It was pretty funny. I added some more water as soon as I could, and
yeah.
Remember, little is more.
Yeah. Especially with doTERRA. Yeah. Definitely.
It definitely works.
Don't need a lot.
Yep.
Yeah. Yay. Well, thanks for showing up and contributing and sharing your insight. Because I honestly feel like, I can go through my little spiel, but I feel like when it's these little conversations, I feel like that's where like the gems come. So thank you, you guys. I really, really appreciate you giving your feedback and sharing your experiences and showing up for us and for yourselves, because we all learn.
And I will say that for my mom's dog, she's still very, very anxious.
Mm-hmm.
But playing spa music in the bathroom, I put my Echo in there.
There you go.
Where she's been hiding, and then putting some lavender on her, it has made a difference for sure. Mm-hmm. She's still nervous, so she's still shaking periodically, but not the whole time. So yeah, and it's allowing her to sleep.
Good.
So that's a good thing. Yeah.
You know, I will recommend, Lisa, when you get the adaptive, try that one.
On her, on the dog?
I think, Ashley, I'm not for sure. Have they tried the adaptive on the dogs? Do you know?
I'm not well versed in like dog. Maybe check one of those groups for animals.
Okay, I'll check.
I don't see why it would be an issue, because all the oils are pretty safe.
Yeah.
But
go ahead.
I was gonna say, but if you wanna, I know a group will tell you somewhere. Someone will post about it.
I haven't and search it.
Yeah, I haven't used it directly on Oz, but I have diffused it. So like when we leave the house and I know he gets anxious and he gets into things, we have to close all the doors, but he finds something to get into whenever we're gone. So I usually diffuse the adaptive, and it does calm him down. Otherwise he'd be shredding everything. But
so the first day,
I just haven't used it on him. So
the first day I put the diffuser in the bathroom, and then I missed it while I was working. I was like, give that back to me. So I took it back. And then I was, I would diffuse it for a little bit, and then I would take it back and put it in my office so that I could use it, because I wasn't concentrating as well without it. So I've been so much more productive having that diffuser next to me.
Good.
Yeah. So I'm happy with that.
Nice.
That's why I had to buy multiple diffusers, because I was literally moving it every day, and it's driving me nuts. So I still need 2 more.
Yeah.
For the house.
That's what I'm saying. We have one in like every room.
I'm with you. I am starting to realize, I'm gonna have to need another one. And then as you're reviewing all these oils, I'm like, oh, I want that one. Oh, okay, I'll just get that one and that one.
Right.
Oh, wait, that one, and that one. Wait, what was the other one? And then I'm going, oh my God, I might as well just get a whole other kit with another diffuser and forget it.
And you know what? You have access. You can still buy kits in the back office. You know that, right?
Sure. Yeah. I figured I could.
Yeah. So if you do decide you're like, hey, I want all of these oils and a diffuser. If you go under kits and collections, there's a bunch of them there. Like also like the enrollment kits, obviously you don't have enrollment anymore because you're a member. But there'll be extra savings there. So check that out. And there's also LRP kits as well, where like, hey, I want all the good sleep oils. They're already in a sleep kit. Or I have allergies. There's an allergy kit. So those are all extra benefits that you have as a member, because they pass on additional savings to you.
Perfect. That's excellent.
So it's cheaper than buying each individual oil. You can buy them in a set, and it's cheaper.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah. So it's something to explore if it's, you kind of want to go that route.
When you get the LLV, did they take out the deep blue soft gels, or are they still included, like to be able to buy extra?
I'm not sure right now. I haven't checked. I'm not too sure. I know TerraZyme's not on there right now, so I had to go on like, hey, who has a TerraZyme? Because I can't not have TerraZyme.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure.
Is Copa Eva on that one?
No.
I forget. Okay.
No.
Okay.
Hey. Any questions before we sign off for the night? You guys good?
I'm good.
Yay.
Thank you.
No problem.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good night, guys.
Ciao, Mom.
Good night.
Thank you.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.